Hello, everyone. Welcome to a webinar where you will find out why you should consider Poland for expansion of your business. This event is part of our soft landing program that we prepared as a Venture Café Warsaw, a Cambridge Innovation Center, in collaboration with EY and Polish Investment and Trade Agency. I am Geresz and I represent Venture Café Warsaw. And today I have with me Olena Kolikhova. Olena represents EY, Agnieszka Szweda from Polish Investment and Trade Agency, and our today's guest is Daria Bambalina. Daria is a fashion influencer, and she also created her own brand. I'm sure that we will find out more about that. And Daria is originally from Belarus, but now she's in Poland. I know that you also lived in Italy and different countries. So Daria, can you introduce yourself and tell us more about your story and your path as an entrepreneur?
Yes, of course. Hey everyone, my name is Daria, and yes, originally I'm coming from Belarus, but I came to Poland like around 12 years ago already, and I started to get my education at Warsaw University. It was International Relations and Diplomacy program in English, because my grandfather, he's a diplomat, so I was watching him working all the time, traveling, communication with different people. I was so fascinated that I thought this will be my path. But when I was on my third year, I found out that maybe this is not the best way for me. I found out that this is more male world. It was at that time. So when I graduated, I started to think where to go for my master program. But talking about a little part, which was during whole my life, I was connected with fashion in that way that my parents had a first luxury clothing store in Minsk. My mother, she was a model. So I was in some kind connected to fashion for all my life. I was watching Vogue magazines when I was 7, 8, 9 years old. So I knew the brands, I knew the products. And when I was studying at my bachelor program, I started to write a blog. It was a little bit connected to fashion, but of course, it was not that much. And then when I graduated, I was thinking about a fashion school. So I chose one in Italy. It was called Polimoda. It's one of the best fashion schools in the world, and it's based in Florence, Italy. So I started to learn the fashion brand management and luxury business. It was amazing experience because, first of all, you get the knowledge from people who really work in fashion sphere. The head of my university was the son of a big brand based in Florence, Salvatore Ferragamo. I got the teachers coming from Gucci, from very, very different fashion companies. So, and also it was a part of luxury business. So we were studying jewelry, cars, yachts, and so on. And I was so into fashion that I wanted to work in that, like backstage always, brand management or creative direction, something like this. I was never thinking of making my own brand because first, I'm not a fashion designer. I didn't know anything about constructions and sewings and fabrics and so on. So after graduating Polimoda, I was thinking, of course, to stay there in Italy and to find a job. But this is the problem which we people coming from Belarus, Ukraine have. It's very, very difficult to find a job with our passports and our documents, and to get all this kind of document to start working in Italy. And the situation is even worse than in Poland, I can say, because here we wait for a long time for the documents. But there, you can have a contract, you can have everything. A company which wants you to work for them, but if there is no place for a foreign employee in Italy for this year, you can't start to work. So I came to the office which was helping me with finding a job in Italy, and they told me, no, you have a Belarusian passport, just forget about it. Fortunately, I was the only one person who stayed in Italy. Even the whole my group, what, from China, from Germany, from EU, I was the only person who found the job there. And I started to work in fashion sphere. I was working for Alexander McQueen. Then I was working for a luxury brand called Mona Lisa. And also I was working with luxury Italian companies which wanted to enter the markets of Eastern Europe. So here I took my international relations background and put it into fashion and started this kind of a brand management and promotion. What happened next is that one of my business trips was to Poland. So I came to Poland in 2013 because I came here in 2009. And it was another Poland. It was another Warsaw. It was another city. In 2013, when I came and saw all the buildings, new places, new businesses.
After 5 years,
yes,
right?
Yes, the Warsaw changed so much. I was so shocked. And I fall in love again with Warsaw, because back in 2009, it was like ruins, like not ruined city, but very dark cities. There were no places to go, for example, for students and so on, And I was, wow, I want to get back here. Why? Everybody asked me, why did you come back from Italy, this beautiful city, this like Florence and so on, back to Poland?
And sun.
Yes, and everybody was like, fashion, beautiful man, food and sea, and all the time is sun. It's true when you are a tourist, but when you start to work there, and also I was not, in Milan or I don't know, Rome. I was in Florence. It's a touristic place, and my work was in another city. And when you live there as a normal entrepreneur every day, taking the train at 5 o'clock in the morning, going 80 kilometers to your working place, and it's every day like this, you are back at 21, and the whole weekend you're just sleeping, you just don't notice this Italy. I got the experience, I got the language, I got a lot of connections and communications, but I wanted to be back. Also because Italy is not that developed in IT, especially this region, use Tuscany. People do not use Instagram. People, of course, use Facebook, but you can't use it for advertisement. It's like another world. And when I came, you can't even take coffee takeaway in Italy, in Florence, because it's prohibited. It's like, of course, it's like a tradition of drinking coffees in the small places. But I was more into this motion, into these energetic cities, which I saw at that moment in Warsaw.
And you found it in Warsaw?
Yes, at that moment. And of course, because I already lived there, I knew the language, I knew the city, I knew how it all works, I knew some people. So it was not like I'm moving somewhere where I don't know anybody. I was moving to somewhere I knew already, but it was better than I saw it before. So I left Italy. Until now, there was no one day when I was thinking, okay, why did I leave Italy? And I started to find a job here. So I was thinking, okay, I'm coming from Italy with all my background, with my great education and so on, experience, languages. And I found out that to find a job in fashion here in Warsaw is very hard, because fashion is a closed circle of people. Sometimes people there do not have education, they do not even know how to work in this sphere normally, but they know people to work there. You know, this is a connection of people, stylists and so on. I was trying to get there, but also I knew that fashion in Poland started to develop at the moment when I found out that there is opened Louis Vuitton. As we know, like Louis Vuitton opens only their own shops. They investigate the market. The best people are working from them. So of course, to understand that there is this shop founded in Warsaw means something is going on, something changed. And at that moment, I was like, okay, what can I do here? I don't want to work in another sphere. I just want to be in fashion. And I got a chance. I started to work at one of the best fashion houses and brands in Poland called Gosia Baczyńska. She is the only designer who is presented at Paris Fashion Week. She's the only designer which, you know, is so famous here. I started to do the international marketing. And at that moment, I was going to Minsk sometimes, you know, like for 2 weeks, 3 weeks for my parents to see them. And how I found out my brand. This is like a very strange story, because I couldn't find a good t-shirt. I mean, every t-shirt I didn't like. I didn't like the fabric, I didn't like the prints, I didn't like how it made, and so on. I didn't have any kind of t-shirts. My brother, who was at the beginning with me, doing also Dash My Buttons, he's drawing, I don't draw at all. And I saw some sketches on his moleskin. And back at that time, I was in Minsk, and I just found a place where I can order t-shirts for myself and, you know, make the prints of my brother on them. So we did them for ourselves and just posted some pictures on Instagram, like of us. And I started to get so many messages.
Did you already have a lot of followers?
I had around 8,000, something like this, but also because I'm from Minsk, so almost there were my friends. I got that many followers in Minsk because first I won the fashion blogs competition during our Belarus Fashion Week, and also I was a host at TV program, like, you know, you have Pytania na śniadanie and you have this small part talking about something. So I was the host of this something about fashion. And this is how I found, like, got these influencers in Belarus. So we posted these pictures. A lot of messages arrived from my friends. And I was like, no, we just did it from myself. They were like, where can we buy them? I'm like, no, it's like for me. One time to like 20 messages. I was like, okay, I will give some t-shirts to my friends. So I gave, and they started to post photos. And then I started to get messages from people I didn't know. And I was like, okay, maybe we can do something with this. So I opened my small company and just started to sell the t-shirts with our own prints.
And did you open it in Poland?
At that moment, I was in Minsk because I didn't know how to do it in Poland, because, you know, here you should get kartę pobytu, a lot of documents to open your own company. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it here, so I just had it there. But I understood that I can't sell it in Poland, you know, because of this legislation process and so on. And for me, it was fun
that you are talking about that, because like it's amazing story, and the best things in life are happening because of accidents. So,
Yes.
so it's great, and also we perfectly know about those things that you need to accomplish in Poland to open for opening the business. That's why we created this soft landing program.
Yes.
So just make it easier for people who would like to either open the business or just expand the business and open the second office. So you started in Minsk, yeah?
Yes, I started in Minsk, but it was just fun because I had my job, I was working at Gosia Baczynska brand, and I was doing it for fun. Then I understood, okay, I'm not living in Minsk. It was like for a moment. I am living in Warsaw. What can I do? At that moment, I started to do my brand through the company which had my father already here in Poland. It's connected with robo cafes, all this robotic small cafes which makes you ice cream and coffee, and it's just a robot making it. At the moment you are just ordering it, and it's pretty nice because you don't need people to do it, but so he had a company here called Robokov, and I because it was spółka SPZO, so it's a big one, you can start different businesses from this. And I opened my small internet shop with only t-shirts there. At that moment, I didn't have any kind of clients coming from Poland. Nobody knew me. I didn't know anyone. It was like small shop, and that's all. And I started to think, okay, I should find the production in Poland. I can't bring everything because there are taxes, and so on. So I need customs, and so I need to find out how I can do it in Poland. And it was an investigation process with finding fabrics, sewings, and so on. So at the moment, I have everything based in Poland. The whole fabrics coming from Poland. It's eco cotton. We make everything here in different cities, embroideries, printings, sewings. So it's fully made in Poland, everything we're doing. And at that moment, going back, I was working at that brand, so I, was getting the salary from there. I was not on zero, but I had that brand. I was selling something to my friends, but of course, it's not a business. And then I found out how I was thinking, okay, how can I do the promotion? Unfortunately, I didn't have money to do it. I didn't have investors. So I used an instrument called influencer marketing. I wrote to one of the biggest influencers at that time. This is like a model and influencer here in Warsaw. She had like 4,000 people at that time on Instagram. Now it's more than 2 million, I think. And I just wrote her a message to direct messages and wrote like, hey, this is my brand. This is what we're doing. Maybe you like it and I can send it to you. And it was a fortune. She answered that she really liked it and that she wants to get it. I was just shocked. I took my 5 t-shirts with me, which one she chose. And I just take the car and went, because she was living in Warsaw, and just came to her and with thrilling hands, just gave her these t-shirts, and she posted them at that time in Instagram. And I got my first clients. And I understood that influencer marketing really works. The number of my followers started to grow. The number of people which started to buy from me, and they found out that it's a good quality, it's interesting prints. They started to tell their friends, post photos, and there was some kind of this move. But with influencer marketing, it's also one negative part. It's good for a short period of time, like 1 week, 2 week, month, but then it stops again. And you should find or another influencer, or you should find another channels to promote. So I was, finding out new influencers, sending them the t-shirts, and they were making the photos. I was fortunate in that point that my product was in some kind unique. You can imagine there are like so many t-shirts on the market, like, enormous number. But mine had some kind of this emotional part. And then I was going more and deeply into emotional marketing to understand how it works. We had a special packaging, this every t-shirt is packed in this pink paper in special form, and stickers and the package and the cards, and I made something more emotional into the normal product. And I understood that emotions is one of the things that people do not get today in an enormous way. And when you give them a product you want to sell, give them a little bit more of emotions. And this is,
you also had the story, and all of us, we just love stories, and it was good because you designed it for your own needs, and you just felt that. So it's different because you didn't think about business, about making money. You just prepared that because you loved it, and it's a great story.
Yes, and also it was like this because I had a job and I started something from myself. I have the whole money I invested, it was 100 euro in this first t-shirts. These were mine, 100 euro. That's all. Because I bought like 4 t-shirts, sold them, bought 6, and this is how it grew. I didn't have any other investments in my brand. And what I have today came from this 100 euro. This is why I love my work so much, because I know how it works from the very beginning. But I want to point one thing. At that time when I was promoting my brand in Poland, I was working in another brand. And I left it when I understood that I worked there for the whole day. I worked for my brand for the whole night. And at some moment, money coming from my own brand were twice more than coming from that brand I was working at. And at that moment, I left the company and I took it for myself. I rented a showroom in the middle of Warsaw. At that time, the payment for it was around 20 meters showroom, like room. I paid around 2,000 zloty, and for me, I thought this is the most enormous amount of money in my life. It was like the biggest. I just was with my, 100 t-shirts sitting in that one showroom, looking in the window and thinking, okay, and what's next? I'm here. What can I do? And then I started to go, as I told you, more deeply into this influencer marketing. I think was collaborating with many or all of the influencers in Warsaw in some kind connected to fashion. We were also doing collaborations.
Did you have somebody to help you out? Did you have somebody to help you out?
No,
okay.
I was alone. Until now, I'm alone in this business. I'm doing everything by myself, except of, all this work, physical work, because I don't have time for this. But all the contracts, all the communications, all the brand managements, creative ideas, it's all coming from me. At some kind, I'm tired, but I'm so into my work that I'm good. After 5 years working with my own brand and developing it and finding new ways, because we found also another brand, a sub-brand. We are opening a new sub-company connected to Dash My Buttons in January also. We started to work with Moliera too in Warsaw, one of the biggest shops. And yesterday I announced that from 2021 we will be presented at Galeria Lafayette in Dubai Mall. So, this is what we, because sometimes I tell we because it's me and my brother. He was at the beginning, but now he's a fashion director. He's doing fashion films in Warsaw, advertisements and so on. So he's on his way and I'm on my way. This was when I found out about this emotional marketing, and also, for example, about COVID, because a lot of people ask me how it influenced you or not. I always tell that not, because we this year for our brand was very good. We multiplied all the money that we get, and at that point, when it just started in April, I remember that time, for 1 week we didn't have any sellings at all, and I was a little bit afraid because, you know, shopping was silent. People were afraid. After 1.5, 2 weeks, it started to go again, and I was like, okay, people are in stress, in depression now. What can we get? What can we give them? So I came back to this emotional marketing, and we made a new packaging. It was a pink packaging made like a candy, with the stickers, the ribbons. Inside it was, you know, a lot of beautiful stuff. You buy the t-shirt, but you buy like a lot of stuff also. And I got the email from one of my clients. She was telling me, you know what, your package is more beautiful than a ring, which I got from my boyfriend. And I was like, okay, this really works. So, I mean, and also, there were t-shirts at the beginning, but then I understood that I want to do something else, because t-shirts is not enough. And I started to do clothes. As I told you, I'm not a designer, but I have an amazing girl. She's also from Poland. She's Polish. She's a constructor. So, you know, she's doing all the constructions. How it works from us. I do the mood board. I do something in my head. I know how it should look like, but I can't draw it. And I express her what I want to have at the end. So this is how, for example, our sweatshirts came. I told her, okay, I want a sweatshirt with a hole at the back and these big sleeves, you know, and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, do you think somebody will buy them? I was like, yes, you will see. It will be the must-have and a bestseller. Until now, this is a must-have and bestseller for almost 2.5 years already. Because we are working, you know, on this casual streetwear suits made only from eco cotton. We don't have any other fabrics. And I was thinking, okay, it's not sexy. It's not sexy when a girl just, you know, wearing this sweatshirt and pants. It's a little bit you know, chubby and so on. What can we do with this so it will look more sensual, feminine, you know? And I was like, okay, we can do this hole at the back, so it will be like, you know, when you're walking and somebody is looking at your side, at your back, he's like, oh wow. And you know, the sensual part, the back is very sensual and beautiful part of female bodies. And we can show only a small part. It will be nice, and we will put an embroidery with our logo at that part, so everybody will remember it. And this is how we started to be those famous, because everybody wanted that sweatshirt with that hole on the back. We were making dresses,
you know, characteristic, because it's something totally different.
Yes.
So it's.
I mean, we were doing like dresses and so on, but the sweatshirts with pants, with shorts, is what it is about. And also now, when everybody's sitting at home in comfy stuff, it's very good. And I can tell you that I was forecasting this fashion a little bit more. I think it will be like this until 2024, the end, and 2025. And I think 2025 will be the year when we will start wearing dresses, beautiful stuff again.
This will be even really interesting campaign during the 2020, where one brand just showed people with really beautiful top and and with some like just with some pants and like the COVID outfit for
Yes.
some calls and online meeting. It was really, really great. Daria, your story is really inspirational for a lot of people, because you also shared with us some insights, and I'm sure that you worked really hard to achieve what you have. You also gave some tips for entrepreneurs. For example, I could hear that you mentioned that you left your job when you were sure that you will be able to do it by your own. Is a really good tip, and you also like shared with us your business story, but maybe you have in mind something else that you would like to recommend people who would like to start business abroad.
Mm-hmm.
Because for you, it was the new market, so I'm sure that there was some challenges that you needed to face.
A lot of, I mean, but also comparing to Belarus, where I'm coming from, and comparing how it works in Poland. In Poland, it's easier to open your own company if, for example, you have Karta Pobytu. It's a document. For example, I already have it, so I have my own company. I took it from my father, as I told you, and so on. But for example, in Belarus, you can't have an online store if you don't have the magazine, you know, not the magazine, the the place where you can keep it and where a person can come and take it from you. So there you should have a shop, like physical shop, and then you can have an online shop. Here you can do it from your own home, from your, like, you know, sitting at home at kitchen, providing your own online shop. And it's really great. I opened a company here for a week. It took me 1 week to just go to these places and do it. You know, here the market is opened for new companies. I can also tell you that people living in Poland really like Polish companies. There was even a hashtag in Instagram, Wspieram polskie marki. So people really want, people really want to help if you are if you have a Polish company. For now, I can tell that yes, I'm from Belarus, but my company is Polish. It's registered in Polish. We have everything here, and so on. Also, people are open for collaborations, and influencers are open for it. I was trying to do it with Russia, with Ukraine. There, people are a little bit more closed, you know. Even if an influencer has, I don't know, 10,000 followers, he started to write to me, you can go and write to my manager. I was like, a manager with 10,000 followers, really? Here, a person can have 2 million, 3 million, and he's like, okay, this is how it was with me with Eva Chodakowska. I just wrote to her. I really do it, like, people don't, I don't know, they think that I'm lying, but no, I'm just writing to them, like, hi, we're a brand, and you're Eva Chodakowska, and I'm like, you know, but this is what we're doing. And she replied to me, yes, I like your products. And she told me at that time that I can't take your suits because I have a contract with Adidas, everybody knows it, but I like your t-shirts. And she took our t-shirts, she was different programs in this, and she was tagged us. You know, it didn't cost me anything. I just found a way to find good words for the person to write to him. And but because some people can now ask, they have a lot of direct messages. How did they find your message in this whole, you know, list? So what I did, I think now I can tell you the biggest tip, what you can do if big influencers do not see your message. just write in comments under the last photo that you send them the message. That's all. This is how I got to Eva Chodakowska, because I wrote her. Of course, she didn't find it. And I just write, hello, we just write you a direct message. And she opened it in like 10 minutes. So this is how it works. And if your product is really good, has something special in it, when you go to these Instagrams, you see this, atmosphere, you see this beautiful photos, you see this emotional part. Everybody wants it. With 1 million followers, with 10 followers, they just want to get it. And this is how it worked with me. And I can tell you this because it's really like, I went through it.
Yeah, thank you for your insights. Really, like you also mentioned that at the beginning you struggled a bit with some connections, and this is also that we are aware of that. It might be in any industry the same situation. So in this soft landing program, we prepared the special program for first 30 days. Where the participants are able to meet a lot of people from the ecosystem. I really regret that we didn't have this program when you were opening your business, because I think that we really could support you. We just started three weeks ago, but what we are doing, we are helping to the companies with getting some knowledge about the Polish market. We have comprehensive online trainings with everything, like information about the taxes, information about Karta Pobytu, PESEL, PIT, and everything that you should know during opening and running business in Poland. And then we also designed this program for 30 days, where we have, it might be online or in the space, and the entrepreneurs have a chance to learn about the taxes, about immigration law, about different topics from experts from EY. And also we are organizing some meetings with key ecosystem players, like with investors, with people from special economic zones, and we are presenting different cities, and also we are answering the needs of people who are participating in the program, because everyone has different needs. So we are trying to invite like really people from the ecosystem that can support them. So it's I think it might be really helpful for somebody who just don't know the market and would like to start to do that. Maybe Olena and Agnieszka, you would like to add something, because we are working on this program together.
Yeah, I would like to add to what you said already about the support, that the whole program for Belarus actually started 3 months ago already. So the soft landing program is part of the bigger scheme, national Polish scheme dedicated exclusively for Belarus. So the scheme is called Poland Business Harbor. And our agency, Polish Investment Trade Agency, is quite important operator of that program. We are assisting all types of companies from Belarus, from small, medium to big companies. And the startups will be taken care of by Cambridge Innovation Center. We are offering to Belarusian investors the standard services that we usually offer for foreign companies, plus a lot of additional services that are exclusively offered under the program, like the assistance in getting visas. You said a few times about the Karta Pobytu, residence permit. All these formalities are now much easier than they used to be in the past because of the program. So I really, there's a shame that you could actually make use of the benefits of this program, because it would be perfectly fitted to you, and everything would be much faster, easier, and also cheaper for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to encourage companies, people who are watching us, that it doesn't have to be, the process of the entering Polish market doesn't have to be hard if you allow local partner like our agency or Cambridge Innovation Center help you. So please get in touch with us. It's worth using. And I would like to say that so far we have assisted 47 investment projects from Belarus from the start of the program, which was middle of September. So Belarus actually became #1 investor in our portfolio, which is very impressive. So I think it's a contrary. It's totally different compared to what you said about Italy, that it was very hard because of Belarusian background and origin. It was very hard to start something there. I think the situation here for Belarus in Poland is completely reverse. So please, I would like to invite again everybody who is considering a foreign market in Eastern Central Europe for expansion. I would like to encourage, please come to Poland. Please let us talk to you and let us present you our offer and how we can help. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. I mean, it's really sorry.
Now, I actually wanted to add, and also thank you, Daria, for this inspirational experience sharing. And I hope this actually also inspire a lot of people that didn't yet started a business, both foreigners and also Polish people. As we know, this year was very impressive for retail and for online retail, and I hope that actually your story will inspire a lot of people to start a business. And of course, if some foreigners and are listening to us, I hope it will inspire you to open business in Poland. Nevertheless, if you are already in Poland or you're planning to move your existing business to Poland, I hope that such inspirational stories as your, Daria, will also help other people to do their first step. And of course, what Eva mentioned and what Agnieszka mentioned, our program is also created in order to help entrepreneurs to do one of the most important steps in their business, which is scaling their company globally. And without this step, usually a startup is not yet a startup, but a local company. And only after taking the step and going outside of your mother country, you can begin a journey of becoming an international scale-up or even a unicorn, which is the goal of every small startup. However, of course, the first step is the hardest one, especially for the entrepreneurs who right now are in the other countries and right now planning to do their expanding the business and choose their first destination. And we hope that Poland would be the choice for a lot of people because Poland is very startup friendly. It gives a lot of opportunities for new businesses to grow here. There is a huge startup ecosystem here, a lot of institutions and initiatives that support startup. And our program is actually an example of such initiative, and we hope we will be able to help a lot of companies to do their first steps, and we can address a lot of hard legal questions related to regulations, setting up a company, preparation of all necessary documents, immigration topics, and residence and work permits, employment, taxes, and so on and so forth. So an entrepreneur can focus on the only thing that matters, which is growing the business. And we truly believe that actually the key to success of every startup is partnerships. So we hope that throughout the partnership with us, we will help a lot of entrepreneurs to grow their business also. And we hope that thanks also to cooperation with our initiative, there would be more and more international entrepreneurs which would be able to share their success story and say that they achieved success and their first step was here in Poland.
And Daria, even if we didn't have a chance to help you at the beginning, I would like to invite you right now to our innovation center. Is located on Chmielna 73 in Warsaw building, this new building, and we have opened space where everyone can just come and meet with some people or work from here. And also there is a lot of people from ecosystem coming here, so you can meet interesting people. We are also organizing some programs, some events. Of course, now they are online, but I hope that in next year we will be able to come back to offline version, because even now you can broaden your network by participating in our programs. So feel invited, and
Thank you.
Yeah, visit us. I'm sure that you will like it.
Thank you very much. And I can, I think at the end, tell one thing is that in Belarus, unfortunately, is a very hard time now. A lot of companies are trying to relocate. And I also get a lot of messages about how to do it. And unfortunately, before, I didn't know that there is some kind of programs that you told me, which really can help. There are like Facebook pages for Belarusian people who were like started to live here. They do not know how to go it further. I think it is very important that Poland is trying to help, because what is going there is terrible. A lot of people are trying to go here with, golden mind startups. And I hope that after watching this webinar with me and with you, they can just try to tell their story, their startups, their information, and just get the real help. This is what they really need.
Great, thank you. You can find the website in the comment, softlanding.pl, and you can just contact us. We will take care of you, and we will support you with opening your business and plugging you into the ecosystem.
Great.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much,
Daria. Thank you, Agnieszka, Olena, and
thank you.
And everybody who are listening to our conversation. I hope that it was helpful for you, and have a great afternoon.
Yeah, you too. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.